This is K. Michelle, and I'm here with You Know I Got Soul, because y'all know, if ain't anybody soulful, y'all know K. Michelle is soulful.
We've been actually tweeting about your album yesterday and today. We had a chance to finally listen to it. Played it a couple of times, and I'm really loving what I'm hearing. So I'm just curious, can you just take me through the creative mindset when you were putting this album together? Because I know you had a lot to say on this album.
The album is probably a little bit bipolar. It's like that because it's just the mood and the phase that I was in. All my music has to do with where I'm at that point in time. If I'm super depressed, then that's what you're going to get. If I feel like dancing sometimes I don't, that's what you're going to get from me as an artist. So it's just an honest album, and I try to always make super honest albums.
Right. And, of course, this is your first project since leaving Atlantic. So just take me through your process as, a now independent artist maneuvering through the industry. What were some things you had to keep in mind as you were going through this whole process?
Well, for me, not much has really changed. Like, I'm with E1, but as far as, like, financially, they still support everything that I do. So I haven't had any hits. I really don't feel the difference yet. A bit, other than the fact that I was creatively left alone.
Right.
To do what I needed to do. So
right.
They're going to do my country album and everything. So I'm never going back to a major.
Right. That's awesome. And the turnaround
I'm getting the
time.
same benefits.
Right. And in terms of the turnaround time for this project, you've always been consistently putting out albums 2 years after one another, and it's sort of the same case here. You didn't really take a long hiatus. You really wanted to get back to work. Did you feel a sense of urgency to come back?
Well, my fans think it's been forever. They act like I never put out anything. Like, it's usually 1 year. It's kind of like a year and a half, one and a half. So it's over. I think it's at 2 years, the 2-year mark. And for them, it feels like a long time.
Right.
So I was under a lot of pressure because I do want to keep people fed and keep their souls fed and keep, people with something to hear. So it was a lot of pressure to do it. Now, where I'm at right now, I'm a whole lot more calm about it. And it's like I have this urgent album that shows like a lot of aggression and a lot of, it's not a whole lot of male bashing because yes it is, let me stop lying. But it's not as angry as it normally is. It's in another way because that's just where I was at. So with this album, I'm happy that it's going to come out, and then we move directly into this country album.
Awesome. Because I was about to ask about this country album. A lot of fans were waiting for this country album, and I sort of expected you to put out that country album first, but, what was the decision to, stick to an R&B album first before you moved on to the country album? Because I know you've been working on this country album for quite some time.
I didn't want to abandon that fan base. They were hungry, and they needed R&B. So I didn't want to abandon that fan base and leave them just with nothing. Everybody doesn't like country. Speak of the devil. Everybody doesn't like country.
Right.
So for me, it's just kind of like, something weird just happened, sir. So that's why I'm looking off. No, but for me, I wanted to give them something that they needed. Like, they need R&B. R&B music is needed, like the real R&B music, not the lullaby music. I mean, like that really heartfelt soul music. So I was going to give them that, which I'm doing, and then next I'm going to give them something new, and hopefully they grow with me in that. So I didn't want to abandon it so quick. I wanted to leave them with a solid R&B album.
Right. And then just to touch on your country album a little bit that you're working on. I know, like with Lil Nas X, when he dropped his record, it was sort of a country record, but it still had hip-hop elements to it. But over in the countryside, they don't really necessarily accept that. So what does your country album?
No. The whole Lil Nas X thing is no. I wish him well in all of his endeavors. But I don't need to by any means be compared by any comparisons to that.
Right.
That didn't help me. It hurt more than anything. I'm not doing no hip-hop. I'm not playing with country music. I do real country music. I'm not playing in that, oh, we're going to do this and then throw some 808s. No, that's not country music.
Right.
It's not country. Country is a sound. It's a feeling. It's a lifestyle. People can't just go from something and say, hey, I'm going to be a country singer today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can. I mean, but that's not what country is about. R&B was supposed to be about lifestyle. R&B is a feeling. It's a soul. It's what it is. All of these new artists coming out here just doing things and doing the gimmicks and all of that kind of stuff, not saying by any means that that's what he did. I'm just saying when people look at me in the genre of country, they think that's what I'm going to go do and go change their music. No, I love the music as is. The only thing that's missing in country music, it isn't the actual art isn't suffering. What is suffering is that you don't see anybody my complexion.
Right.
In that genre. That's what's suffering. Because you mean to tell me out of all of this time there wasn't a black girl that was good enough to be on the country music chart?
Right.
Yeah, it's probably millions.
Right.
But it hasn't happened.
Absolutely.
It hasn't happened. So guess who's going to fight for it? Me. Guess who's not going to be rapping on a country track? Me. Guess who's going to yodel? Ain't going to do what she does? Me.
Right. That's a good
and
point.
sing some real country. I'm a Southern girl.
Right.
I'm from Tennessee. This is who I am. This isn't a gimmick or something else when all else fails for me. This is a lifestyle. I farm and everything. That's what it is.
Right.
So that's why it's such a big shift. You know, it's a big shift for the fans who maybe aren't that into all genres of music, but the fans that are into country and R&B understand that they really run, you know, kind of parallel to each other. Their country has soul. Country tells stories. So does R&B.
Nope, you got a point there. And then I just want to bring up the intro track to your new album, Just Like Jay. You know, you mentioned managing expectations for your career as well as yourself as an individual. And, you know, you've been talking about this country album for quite some time. So, you know, just take me through your mentality, you know, while you were at the label and they wanted you, like you said, for them, they wanted you to be like Mary J., but you had so much creatively that you wanted to express. How frustrating was that for you?
Very. I never picked my single. The Rain is the first single I've ever picked on my own. When there started to be tension with me and my label, every album, they kept lying to me like I was dumb. They kept telling me, oh, next album you're going to do this country album. And every time I would turn it in, they would tell me no. They were determined that and they said it to my face. This isn't anything I assumed. They were determined that I was going to be the next Mary J. Blige. And for me, I love Mary J. Blige. Like, that's somebody that I just look up to tremendously. And that's nothing wrong to even be compared in the slightest form is an honor. But God made me as K. Michelle. He did not make me Mary J. Blige. I have my own uniqueness to me. You know, yes, I'm able to touch women and heal and men, too. People listen to what I have to sing and they feel it. I get that. That's a huge compliment to be compared to Mary. But I want to do some other things. Like, you know, I want to do my first love. My first love was country music.
Right. Absolutely.
So it was frustrating. But, you know, it's no hard feelings. I'm on great terms with them. It was a mutual thing. I went in there. It took like 3 hours. We had a 3-hour meeting about why I didn't have but one more album left. And we had a 3-hour meeting about why I wanted to leave and what I wasn't going to do. And, you know, breaking the bank on another album that all the control was somewhat kind of pulled from me was something I wasn't willing to do again.
Right. So, leading into this album that's dropping very soon, did you have to find your creativity again? Because I know, like, a song like Sierra's Prayer or even The Rain, which you sampled, New Edition, those are like unique spins on R&B records. Like, did you have to rediscover your love for music again in that sense?
I did. Just like Jay, I said at the beginning of the song, I didn't even want to do this album. It was so damn hard to get in my zone. That's how the album opens up. And it was very difficult because I had been like battling health and I wasn't concerned about a song at that time, but just getting back in the flow, getting back in there, that was something that, took a lot. So many records didn't make the album because they weren't up to par. Because it wasn't K. It wasn't me and my best. It was me still healing. So it took me a while to get in the groove and get the strength back in the record.
Right. And talk about your expectations leading into this album now. As an indie artist, you've left the major system. How do you measure success now?
I never measure success by people's standards, by industry standards. And so I just know when I get out on stage and everybody knows my songs and they're singing and people are crying and I saved lives, I know that's the greatest success that anyone could have.
And then, Kate, I just got to give you a quick shout out. Like, recently we did a list of just artists that we felt impacted the genre of R&B over the last decade, and your name was on it. Of course, we had to give you a shout out for being consistent throughout the entire decade.
Thank you.
And now I'm listening to this new album, and I still feel that emotion that we were introduced to earlier in the decade. Like, I hear a song like The Worst, which is like, you sound great on that record. And, of course, you made a tweet recently. You're just not happy with some of the music that you're hearing from R&B, and we touched on it earlier. So I guess my question is, how do you kind of bring the soul back or get these new artists or even old artists to bring that soul back? Right.
Stop putting people in the game who don't have soul. There was a demo single.
Right.
These, I cut on the radio, it sounded like a demo. Like the records people send you so you can actually really sing. Like, that's what it sounds like. I'm not knocking all the artists. I will never be that girl. I will always be honest, though, in my opinion. But there are a lot of artists that are good, that are really good. Like, for me, one of my new favorites is Ari Lennox.
Yep.
I love its soul there. You get what I'm saying? It's feeling. You feel this girl.
Yep.
A lot of the other ones just be like mumbling, just like the rappers. I don't know what they be talking about. I just wish they would shut up and give a spot to these other new girls who are coming out here who got life on them, who got heart and soul. That's what I look for when I say, oh, this is R&B. And it's missing right now. They even have started a genre. Isn't that like the genre? They have like alternative R&B.
Yep.
No, that's no R&B. Absolutely not. No R&B. Alternative? No. No. It just doesn't sound good. It just sounds like it sounds like one big lullaby.
Yeah. And you're not the first person to make that complaint.
Not even a baby would want. Yeah, a lullaby that not even a baby would want to listen to.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like drug music. You have to be high to understand it.
Yep.
And I think you should feel high on music without actually being high.
No lies told there. So, Kay, that's all that I've got for you. Is there anything that you'd like to add? Thank you.
Thank you for your years of support. It is greatly appreciated, especially in this genre where we have to fight so hard, So thank you so much for always having my back.